Explicit.
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 Explicit. Explicit.
He asked for you alone, you know? I got your back and all, it's just I don't want to mess with his explicit instructions. You'll be fine, bro.
It was his private journal. He was most explicit that you, and only you, would read its contents. But
let me remind you that DA was very explicit, very explicit, very explicit.
Won't be a friend of mine any longer. Do I need to become more explicit here?
1,000 phone calls?
That is exactly 1,000.
1,000 phone calls have been rude, inappropriate, sexually explicit phone calls I wish I could take back.
Many of the emails were a lot more explicit than that, but that's neither here nor there. The point is she was being stalked.
Mr. Guthrie's orders were explicit.
What's going on here?
Well, Claire's colleagues don't remember her mentioning any explicit threat.
Dr. Litz's instructions were explicit. Bakshi was to come along.
What?
The deal I made was explicit. You can never harm them in this land.
Your husband was very explicit.
I would categorize it as a threat.
We were working together. That you believe in this conspiracy theory, that it was you who received explicit photos of Ms. Barnes.
The White House counsel wouldn't be manipulating testimony without explicit direction from the Oval Office.
Apart.
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 Personally speaking, I can't wait to watch life tear you apart, apart, apart.
My marriage fell apart. I lost my job.
You see how she's bringing that hand up to her face? She's got a secret.
I will tear you apart, tear you apart, tear you apart on the stand, Cal. And you know it.
Oh, that's charming, that is.
Therefore, I want you to worry those pictures till they come apart.
I just fell apart. I was so depressed.
We're sorry for your loss, Mr. Wallace. But apart from the picture of your foreman, the rest aren't miners killed in that explosion.
Oh, come on, you two. You love each other too much to let your egos keep you apart. People make mistakes. Mom, let's clean up.
Women are strong until they fall apart.
You're not going to fall apart.
My family's, our family's breaking apart.
Wow. That's kind of a crime unto itself. Did we really need to take it apart?
I never stopped looking for you.
Looks like someone got their voice back.
We'll never be apart again. I promise you.
This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Sage is the one, and you can't keep us apart. The more you try, the more our love will grow. You're actually just watering our love.
Humiliate.
Humiliate. Humiliate.
Humiliate.
Humiliate.
I'm gonna take your life and reputation from you. Humiliate your ass. Humiliate your ass. Humiliate your ass publicly.
Didn't you just come to me in the first place? Why would you go through all this trouble just to humiliate me? Humiliate me. Humiliate me.
Fool! I get to watch you humiliate yourself before your untimely demise!
You publicly humiliated yourself and dishonored a man who has devoted his life to Russia.
I guess I thought you were humiliated. You did run away after all.
Poor Dom Hemingway. All that time in prison, only to come out and be humiliated by the son of the man he always hated.
I don't have time for everything.
As Fed Rep, I don't have time to see a fellow officer humiliated.
Why do you think he did it? He's a very macho little slime. When he broke down and humiliated himself in front of him.
I just wanted to humiliate him. He needed to learn humility.
I humiliated him. He humiliated me. He made me feel the way you've shown me I never have to feel.
Don't try to take this guy on again.
Kelly.
Kelly, from what I hear, you humiliated him.
Jonas possesses all 4 attributes. Attributes. Intelligence, integrity, courage.
I've been doing this 14 years, and most escapes can be attributed to dumb luck or brute force.
Filthy individuals might enjoy Sally with womanly attributes.
Illinois Governor Frank Tancredi. His consideration is attributed to his reputation for being tough on crime.
States. Civil war continues to devastate the Midwest.
Scientists attribute this latest water shortage to the lack of rainfall the last 2 years.
I got this instinct, John. It's just no denying it. It's a God-given attribute, really.
Revised your own history. Truth is that your innermost fear is in fact your most striking attribute.
The director of the Vatican Museums would be grateful if you could call him back.
The reliquary attributed to Cellini, I presume.
And then
You kind of are. So you attribute every relationship I've ever had to the height of my cheekbones?
Clearly something.
Nope.
House, on a list of your attributes, there's nothing that even rhymes with coy.
I mean that sincerely, not passive-aggressively, as in it's a good attribute for a spy to... Oh, bloody hell.
Kern, the teacher's strike, now Matthews.
You attribute all that to me.
If I had to guess.
These paintings hang in museums all over the world, attributed to Mr. Keene.
Fiction. Fiction. Fiction.
Fiction.
Fiction.
Never died. She's created an elaborate fictional structure, and she gives us all parts to play in that. Fiction.
I said I'm not interested.
But you promised!
Nothing happens. They're fiction.
But it's fiction. It's fiction.
Neil, the German chap, the grounded one. The one who helps you distinguish fact from fiction.
I also like science fiction.
Hello? You are going to love my book idea.
Serial killers who devise elaborate death traps are the stuff of Pulp Fiction.
These 3 pages.
They're paper.
And they're fiction. Getting warmer.
Captain Gates, I can personally vouch.
I am not interested, Mr. Castle, as you specialize in fiction.
That real, and I don't like things or people who present fiction as truth.
I like that. It's like some monster out of a science fiction movie.
I thought you were taking journalism, not science fiction writing.
Friend, sure it's fan fiction about him. Joe, help me out here.
Specialist.
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 The situations you can get yourself into. You ought to see a specialist.
She was 16 years old. Some doctor called himself a specialist.
Civilian, right?
Yeah, cryptology specialist.
You see, I'm not selling, I'm buying your services as a procurement specialist.
Now, Juan offered you a ticket to D.C. when all this started. We're going to honor that. So they're offering you special assistant to the deputy director.
Mr. Chang fancies himself something of a munitions specialist.
Mr. President, Bernie Cowley, culinary specialist, 2nd class. I'm happy to prepare anything for you.
Acteon, radiation specialist.
That's me. A lot of redacted info, but our girl's name is Bet Sansusi, an EOD specialist for the Army.
Back up 10 minutes ago.
Tell them to send me and I can fix the problem.
I strongly advise sending our specialist inside, Agent May.
You're leaving just like that?
You're a pediatrician. I'm a heart specialist. Do the math.
We can look to some specialists.
Nels, leave the report on the desk, please.
Mrs. Wall, thank you.
Do we have an infectious disease specialist on the premises?
Diane Clayton.
Good, call her.
You need a specialist, okay?
You need somebody who knows what they're doing.
I don't have the luxury of choice here, Doctor.
Rash.
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 I may have done something rather rash.
What do you mean by rash? Rash.
It's so beautiful.
I can't. I sprained my, I have a rash. Rash.
A rash. That doesn't sound so bad. I could live with a rash. Except Dr. Webb thinks it might be herpes.
Members of the Bling Ring were sentenced today for their role in a rash of break-ins that netted more than $3 million in high-end goods.
Gathered here despite the rash of bombings that have plagued the city.
God, I absolutely understand, but my boss wants answers on what the department is doing about the rash of B&Es on the south side.
The doctor called and said Lily's rash is just dry skin. I'm so relieved.
Yeah, that was definitely poison oak. I think this rash is spreading.
Hey, Manny, that's not a rash. It's red because you scratch it.
A rash is just a bonus.
So you're a divining rod for others like you.
Your career's at stake.
Your judgment's impaired. You make impulsive and rash decisions.
Like getting rid of the people standing between you and that drink that you need.
Give me a tabby. Look, there is a much safer solution to your problem. It's called a rash guard.
There's no need to be rash. We can discuss this.
Babies get it on their heads. It's a crusty, yellow, greasy, scaly skin rash.
Concern.
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 You were so distraught over the start time of your grandpa's funeral. Was this your concern? Huh?
Whoa. This is not your concern. Your concern.
Hey, I owe him. I don't owe you.
A war.
That is not my concern. My concern. A message sent must be delivered.
That's none of your concern.
I appreciate your concern, but I'm fine.
I can't. The triad will kill me.
The triad's not your concern right now.
Mom.
It's not your concern, sweetheart.
Thea made it my concern.
Prepared for this.
I think we can all appreciate Joe's concern for Iris, Barry.
Whether you take my word or not is not my concern. What exactly is your concern?
No, I don't have assets in place to run an investigation. Right now, my only concern has to be the president's safety and security. I have no other priorities.
Okay, my concern is what these kids are gonna do if they feel like they're cornered.
Respect, I think you're wrong.
I appreciate your concern. And Haley's my son.
What the hell are you doing?
Stand aside. This doesn't concern you.
Go!
How is that my concern? Because he said he would let them go if I helped you to escape.
Uncertainty.
Uncertainty. Uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
In this time of uncertainty, we will come together as a people.
There is too much inherent uncertainty here. This is a case built on perception, and the death zone makes those perceptions essentially suspect.
A Lehman bankruptcy will help settle that uncertainty, and we believe calm the market. Both the Fed and SEC are in agreement about this.
He looked it up. There's no such thing as a silver bath. Listen, there was uncertainty about the negative. I thought...
No, as a civil servant, I happen to know that the Ministry of Defense absolutely hate uncertainty of any kind. If he were dead, they would simply say, dead.
I banish you! And here, remain with your uncertainty!
That would alleviate any uncertainty. You'd be wise not to.
I will help you do that, but you should prepare yourself for the possibility that your uncertainty...
Come on. What do you say you and I go face this uncertainty together?
Uncertainty.
Romeo.
Zulu.
Family. Alpha.
Rent.
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 To figure out, man. So what appeals to you about living here?
Low rent.
Jenny, if we do it at your place, we're gonna have to rent forks.
We bake at home in our apartment, which is a disaster area, really. It's a mess, and we don't have our rent. The rent is high. Get more business going. The money Sophie gave us to open the shop will only cover next month's rent. Wait, we already have next month's rent?
We should charge $15 a piece for these. That's $540. That's our rent.
I can pay rent, that's not a problem.
I don't want rent money.
Where are they going to be in 10 years? Nowhere. Struggling to make rent with no future.
But we'll just take it out of the money you owe me.
I don't know you shit.
Oh, no, I think you do, Nancy. You sling into my territory, you owe me rent.
I have cards maxed out. I have creditors calling me. I can't make my rent.
That money's for rent. Here, come on. This is what you worked for. No more flower water ads.
Down the beach.
Who the hell are you?
I went wrong. Frank, give me key. Baby.
Well, bury the lead, why don't you?
I put a bunch away for rent and gas, but there's something I want to do with the rest.
Oh, yeah. Here.
Thanks.
Outstanding bills.
Jeez. Electric and rent are late, too? All right, can you get to the check cashing place, buy some money orders today?
Yeah, absolutely.
Accompany.
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 What's that?
I'm supposed to train with Master Oogway again.
Of course, I understand. Perhaps I could accompany.
Sorry, Master Shifu.
Saeed, I need you to step out of the room for a second. Robin, can you take him?
Actually, Agent Anderson, will you accompany them? You accompany them? To make sure no materials subject to the warrant are disturbed?
I would like to propose that the three of you accompany me.
To the north. Detective Deke's absence, I will accompany you into the field if necessary, Agent Bly.
Oh, no.
You'll accompany Agent Reynolds to Fredericksburg. Don't, and your relationship with the Bureau's over.
You'll accompany me tonight.
Sorry, can't. I'm already booked.
Didn't you accompany me to one of these once?
Did you see those two deltoids over there? They have to follow me everywhere I go. They even accompany me to the bathroom, Michael.
You phone Katya?
I would ask you to accompany me, but this is a delicate matter.
Call your attention to the friendship rider in Appendix C, Future Commitments number 37. In the event one friend is ever invited to visit the Large Hadron Collider, now under construction in Switzerland, he shall invite the other friend to accompany him.
For God's sake!
Well, I had a delightful evening, Leonard. We should do this again sometime.
Sure, that'd be nice.
Glad to hear it. I need someone to accompany me to the wedding of Dr. Morinelli and Dr. Gustafson this Friday.
I need to organize some logistics with Eric first.
Do that.
I'll go accompany my partner.
Carbon.
Carbon. Carbon.
Carbon.
Carbon.
19. Carbon dioxide, 0.5%. Under his bed, and then it evaporated, turned to carbon dioxide. He died in his sleep. No one was any the wiser.
The tip was slightly charred. Carbon scoring from where it struck the bullet.
He was a high school teacher. One time he taught about carbon dioxide, but making grape soda in class.
After some type of specialized polymer, which is stronger than your typical carbon fiber. This is a custom job.
The vigilante much thought.
Police reports show that he uses carbon arrows, but if he switched to an aluminum carbon composite, he would have far better penetration.
Sure, I'm thinking some sort of composite or high-density plastic.
Reinforced with carbon fiber. Oh, that's weird. It almost feels like it's
Vibrating.
Yeah.
It's called carbine. An allotrope of carbon found in stardust. 3 times harder than diamond.
This morning, and Coast Guard didn't find any other debris.
It's like carbon graphite.
Well, no ID on the Vic. COD was a single carbon arrow through the chest.
Carbon monoxide, almost 800 parts per million here. Let's move!
He's owned by the auto industry. His stance on carbon emissions is deplorable.
Precaution.
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 Are you worried? Of course not. This is merely a precaution. Precaution. Precaution.
I don't know how you got that Trojan onto my system, but it prompted me to take precautions. Precautions. Precautions.
Him standing
You mean like a terrorist threat?
That's not specific. This is just a precaution. 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 So, no school for you guys today. You're gonna come with me.
Most professionals are fully aware of the dangers of fraud and design their experiments with every imaginable precaution.
You were just messing with us?
Well, you were being a dick, and I was taking precautions in case the Bible's literal and there's bears coming after you.
I'm sorry if the copies are hard to read. I hid the originals in a safe place. It seemed like a reasonable precaution since you murdered Martha and all.
I'm sending Amanda to London for a few weeks, just as a precaution.
Oh, this is like when you knew Claire was drowning, isn't it? That's why you got the first aid kit. Someone's gonna get hurt. Is it me?
No. It's just a precaution. Yeah, just precaution. Precaution against what?
This is the XL. We're gonna have to take precautions. Assume the worst until we learn more.
I'm aware precautions need to be taken, but don't you think this is a little extreme?
Absolutely.
So today, we will perform house sweeps as a safety precaution only.
Angar.
Bill's a smart guy. Would have taken precautions. Would you please check him?
Complete. Complete.
Complete.
Complete.
Complete.
I have a complete set. Complete set. Complete set.
You complete the assignment, you complete the assignment, you complete the assignment, you get the meeting. Take it or leave it.
And he became like a complete stranger, a complete stranger, a complete stranger, just a different person entirely.
Practice power, complete and total hegemonic domination.
You might not find them until I do a complete exam and determine the exact cause of death.
Is there even a sentence that doesn't have redactions?
Not a complete one. Somebody...
The office. Paul was a complete workaholic.
And what did he do exactly?
It's a complete record of agent covers, personal details, affiliated soft targets.
Nothing to fear. We are in complete control.
Makes sense to me, makes sense to you?
Complete sense.
Barn.
Barn.
Barn. Barn.
Barn.
I was talking to someone down at the farm. Said you gave a real barn burner this morning.
Matt.
Yeah, that's my house. Why is it marked?
Okay, doesn't matter. Look, I'm gonna be out of the barn in an hour.
Side of the trees, I want to say on the left. But that may have been a barn. I remembered the best I could, Jen.
I told you, he shot himself. No, Corbin did. Yeah. I saw him through the barn planks.
Don't worry about us. We'll be fine. There's a barn on the other side of the woods. We'll move up there.
I don't know, man. This barn smells like horse shit.
Rick, if I wanted to ambush you, I'd do it here. You know, light the barn on fire while you slept, pick you off as you ran out the only exit.
I meant, I hate banging around my lonely old barn of a house.
What is it this time, a squirrel?
Probably a barn rat.
So I need you to come with us to our barn.
We have no idea where Joe and Angie are meeting.
There's so many places to hide. We'll start with McAllister's old barn.
Linda, you there?
So you can train, lift weights, climb that stupid barn till your heart explodes, but you'll never be as fast as I am.
That happened 100 yards from your house, and you had no idea what was going on.
I never go to the barn. I ran it out.
Here, look at this. Burglary, arson, vandalism, barn burning. Now, how is barn burning different from arson?
Us? We've only brought a car.
Time for any of that. Where's the nearest clean water?
There's a water pipe in the barn.
Delivery.
Delivery.
Delivery. Delivery.
Delivery.
On delivery.
First week of June.
Mr. Tin. Tin.
Yes?
Delivery for you. Delivery for you. Delivery for you.
But I didn't order anything.
Hey. Bye-bye. Delivery.
Well, yeah, here's one.
There's a delivery for you.
Well, bring it in.
James Bagwell, got a delivery for you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's her delivery guy.
Or courier.
I don't know.
You got my delivery?
You have some of that inheritance of yours?
We can't stay here.
Delivery truck!
It's supposed to be millions. Delivery's around 8. That's all I know.
I have a delivery for Mr. Mariansky.
Outline.
Outline. Outline. Outline.
Outline.
Outline to the larger piece.
With questions on the next page.
All right. I'm going to outline a couple of cases here that are very recent.
Why are you bullshitting us?
Mr. Willens would have to agree to no future civil action. All this is outlined in paragraph 6.
Brady's got the outline of every single piece of hardware in here. And at the end of every day, every single piece better match up.
This is about you and how you can best express yourself to the world. There are numerous procedures outlined here, but please don't feel limited to them.
I could only see the outlines of their bodies, their dark bodies.
He'd know that he had not been forgotten, even if the outlines of his face grow fuzzier.
There's still a smoke outline of your body hanging in the air out there.
Well, we're hoping not to see any balls.
I see the outline of one of them.
I never saw Eddie's. It always had to be pitch black for Eddie. I saw an outline once in a thunderstorm, but it's like a rolled up pair of socks.
Really? After all that? You'd be a chalk outline without me.
A commitment list for future legislation. It's not just simple endorsements. Look, this outlines in detail what I would like to do.
Platform.
Platform. Platform. Platform.
Platform.
Here you go, Abigail.
Thank you.
And so I decided to jump off the platform, right? Snaps my legs in two. What did I to protecting the American people and the American way. May I remind you that this is not a platform to a fatter paycheck in private practice, Mr. Tolson.
I wrote the campaign's entire foreign policy platform. I bring years of foreign affairs committee.
Frank, please. It's a mining platform, refinery, and energy plan, all in one.
And I wasn't celebrating tonight. I was drinking my ass off standing on a subway platform ready to kill myself, and then I heard your song.
This should be. What do you got in mind?
You said this shooter uses a remote control firing platform. Remote firing systems are linked to cell signals. With a cell-tuned scanner, I could pinpoint the exact location of his firing platform.
The motivation was to test out a platform and not to do science. That would come later.
We sat on the platform in Trenton for over an hour.
Can you grab those wine glasses?
Yeah.
But I don't think the judge is willing to move off his position. Taking a hard line against criminals is a platform for his re-election.
Secure the rib. Once aboard the oil platform, the snipes will secure the cap and ensure the soundness of the facility.
Her escorts buy her a coffee on the walk to the platform, but she boards the 9:35 train alone.
Strange way for Delancey to run his business considering his anti-corruption platform.
It is.
Output.
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 A radio frequency converter to display the images from your microprocessor to your said output device. Output device. Output device.
It looks like the tech inside Gideon.
I measured the output, I measured the output, I measured the output, and this thing is kicking off serious juice.
You can't deny his offensive output. He can play. And we need people that can play.
This substance, it causes the adrenaline to run unchecked throughout your entire body. There's no way you can maintain that level of output.
Look, how do we make him right?
How you know how high to hang those lights?
30 inches above the plant makes for optimum lumen output in a space this size.
Do we rule out magical gum?
Low cardiac output can cause both.
What's wrong?
Hypotension, low cardiac output. Float the swan.
Still needs oxygen.
Echo shows normal heart function. Could be high output failure from anemia.
Hematocrit was rock normal.
The radiograph technology is infallible. These are screenshots of the output with timestamps.
Phil, Dr. Wells will be monitoring your energy output and Caitlin, your vitals. Heat wave.
Stop doing that.
Okay, I measured the temperature output of both the cold and heat cones, right?
Warning, tachyon output has passed acceptable tolerance range. Continued exposure is not recommended.
Panic. Panic. Panic.
Panic.
Panic.
Then I run off the field in a blind panic, and I'm pulled by the Diamondbacks manager.
Kirk Gibson.
Kirk Gibson, yes.
Why'd you panic? Why'd you panic? Why'd you panic?
I was fear, I guess.
No outside intervention. There is a panic button located just inside the front door should you require our assistance.
We need to keep this small. We don't want widespread panic.
Fears of a second recession have caused panic in Europe's financial markets.
Possible.
A lot of things for you weren't possible before today. What you experienced, Lester, was not a panic attack.
If we tell them now, they'll panic. I think it's best if you just don't show.
Fear got the best of you, and in your panic you turned to the now High Chancellor Adam Sutler.
Rumors of your husband's death are spreading panic amongst our investors in Europe.
Don't panic. I'm not going to hurt you.
Get the fuck away! Get the fuck away from my house!
Wait. Here. This is yours.
Agreed. They were afraid it would cause a panic.
Calm down! No panic! No panic! All right, this is reinforced steel, all right?
Retain.
Retain. Retain.
Retain.
Retain.
Said, I wish to retain your legal services to the family.
King's Landing. When I take the throne, you hope to retain your position, And your head.
I would give a political compromise. And for what? To retain the meager wealth, and rank that men desire.
Those eyes that forever will retain their haunting quality.
They need to retain their wildness.
Sir, we promised Hirohito that Japan would retain the institution of the Emperor if he surrendered.
Words will always retain their power.
That picture.
I once helped a Lebanese agoraphobe retain copyright on a piece of facial recognition software.
You were Marchioness of Loudwater. Yes, I retain my title, though I no longer retain my husband.
They're not for killing you. I'm sure I had a good reason. I'm sorry for the fact that you're able to retain traces of another timeline. You're able to see through the vibrations of the universe. It means
progress in your chosen career, William. You must remember that a good servant at all times retains a sense of pride and dignity.
out to share will be vehemently denied by myself and the attorney I will retain.
I'm doing this.
I can cross the line and retain my memories.
It's not about that. There's no magic over there.
Sweater.
Sweater. Sweater. Sweater.
Sweater.
Hey, where did you get this sweater? Sweater.
What? Right now. See, sweater guy over there? You can wear my sweater.
Is that why you wore a sweater under your jacket? You knew I would say that.
Thank you, Brian.
I love that sweater, Mrs. Harwood.
Check it. Look, V-neck sweater with an untucked shirt.
Looks like she was some sweater set wearing mojito drinking sorority girl.
The bigger, the better, the Huskaroo sweater.
What happened?
I'm not sure. Something with a dog or a sweater. What? It's getting cold out. Do you want a sweater? Fine.
Where's the grab rail? Braless under like a sweater or like a
Now I also have proof.
Not long after, he called his Aunt Ida, who was busy knitting a sweater.
Nice! I got him a sweater.
Okay, well, he might like that. I've seen him get chilly.
Reasonable. 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 Reasonable.
Miss Morgan, be reasonable, reasonable, reasonable. Every new drug has side effects.
Why are you so afraid of them? They're reasonable. They're reasonable. They're reasonable. Why don't we just suggest they stay home considering they're on their mental...
I hid the originals in a safe place. It seemed like a reasonable precaution, since you murdered Martha and all.
What does that have to do with anything?
I've worked with you long enough to know you're reasonable. You can usually admit when you're wrong.
Why would we do that?
We've been going at this for 8 months.
As soon as you decide to get reasonable.
I'm the one that's unreasonable.
Honey, it would mean me going to jail for 8 months.
I think that's pretty reasonable considering you're guilty as sin.
You said that you were fine with selling the house.
There's enough on the tape to sway a jury from reasonable doubt. Counsel, that is a surprisingly reasonable and grounded theory.
Yeah.
Why wait all this time? Why not tell me then?
Because back then you wouldn't have engaged in a reasonable debate.
Never. Well, that seems like a reasonable question. Why not?
Barry, can you hear me? Barry!
There must be a perfectly reasonable explanation for why he's not answering.
To yourself right now? Oh, wait, of course you are. You love the sound of your own voice.
Because it's reasonable. One of us has to be.
Presumed dead. It's a reasonable assumption.
Ease.
Ease.
Ease. Ease. Ease.
At ease.
Hey, I'm gonna kill you!
At ease, bitch.
Transportation. Microbots can move anything, anywhere, with ease.
Well, couldn't Sophie have predicted the outcome and put all your minds at ease?
How's that working out for you?
Well, have my good days and bad days. At ease, soldier.
Sure.
Excellent! There's nothing I like better than making smart people feel ill at ease.
Actually, all I did was invite you.
Well, put your mind at ease. I'm here to make sure your dinner party kicks Howard's dinner party's ass.
You put people at ease, get them to do your bidding. It's a very useful skill. Homosexual?
Way to ease into that one, Bones is smooth.
We were catching a murderer.
I heard. Catching a murderer is the best excuse for being late I've ever heard.
But you said I wasn't late.
I was putting you at ease. It's one of my strengths.
Well, maybe paying those bills wasn't enough to ease her conscience.
Thanks for this, McGruff.
Glad I could put your mind at ease.
I saw the road, of course.
I just think I might be able to put your mind at ease.
Welfare.
Welfare.
Welfare. Welfare.
Welfare.
What? I have to stay healthy in case you have it. Someone's got to pick up your welfare checks. Welfare checks. Welfare checks.
Have to be nice.
Nice. Nice. Oh yeah, that's the thing you are to the welfare lady. A welfare lady. A welfare lady while your mom's in the bedroom hiding the new TV.
They have kind of a ruthless focus on profit with practically no concern for the welfare of the patients that they claim to be.
Vampirism and necromancy. Lower welfare check every month on black candles.
Really?
Every problem in this country is race-related, not just crime. It's like immigration, AIDS, welfare. Those are problems in the
One of those people who are more concerned with other people's welfare than their own.
That family.
When's the last time you cared about the welfare of a family?
That is, if my welfare means anything to you. It does.
This is on it.
Yeah, like they're on my sister's welfare checks. I keep getting stolen out of her mailbox.
I gotta go to my game. I'll see you guys later.